Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Wantless Object. And today, what we have is what I think something pretty special, pretty unique. I've only ever seen it one other time, and that was on another YouTube channel over a year ago. I'm gonna butcher the channel name, so I'm just gonna put it down here, down at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to put it there, so if people want to go back and look at the original idea where I got the idea from, they can do so. So, like I said, I saw this on somebody else's channel, and so the idea came from him, but the design is completely mine. I made these parts how I think that they would work. So I originally made these parts for my mini lathe, and I had to remake the parts because my full-size lathe has an 1.25 inch thread on it. The mini lathe has an 1.8 inch thread on it. So the fixtures would not fit on this lathe without putting an adapter on that, and I didn't want to use an adapter to it, so I remade these parts. So basically, what we have here is this piece right here. This is basically a faceplate. Do I have another one around here? Let me look. Okay, let me back up. This piece right here is a faceplate. It's, the same as a regular faceplate. It's got 1.25 inch TPI in it. This piece is made to thread right onto the spindle of this lathe. And that's what this is. This is no different than that. Only this has, I'm going to call it a bolt circle in it. This has a certain bolt circle in it with a certain angle between all the holes and a certain number of holes to give me the desired effect I want to achieve at the end of this product. So this is the faceplate. This is going to mount directly to the spindle. There's 2 set screws in there, 180 degrees apart, because so I can run the spindle in reverse, not have to worry about it backing off. These are the bolts, the 2 bolts that are going to hold the faceplate to the fixture plate, which that's what this is. This is a fixture plate. There's a bunch of different bolt circles in this. To you guys, that's going to look like just a bunch of holes. But they all have a very specific reason to be where they are. This inner bolt circle that's on here, that is so that I can mount my normal glue block to this, and then I can mount my wood blank to the glue block. So none of that is any different than what it normally is. So this is a piece of very dry maple. It had a real spongy area in this back corner where the wood was basically rotted. And honestly, that's the reason why I picked this piece, because if this doesn't come out as planned, then I'm not wasting a block of wood. So this chunk of wood is 9.25 inches in diameter, and it's 2.25 inches thick. So let's see here. I'm going to put the faceplate on the machine. I'm going to lock those set screws down. Now I'm going to mount the fixture plate to the faceplate. Okay, let me fix this camera. Okay, so right now, the fixture plate is on the faceplate in the 0 position. So it'll spin nice and true and round. And, you know, I took this piece yesterday, and I put it on my bandsaw. I cut it round. And then I cut a flat spot on the back of it so I can mount that glue block on there safely. So the first objective that I'm going to do is, now every step that I do is going to be roughing it down to size. I don't know how else better to explain that, but the part's already basically round. But what I'm going to do in this very first step in the 0 position is I'm going to face this face off flat, and I'm going to cut this diameter true and round. Now, I'm going to end up doing that again in my first offset position, cutting this diameter back round back to 0. But I want everything to be running as true as it possibly can. Now, this is an offset fixture. The idea behind it is so that I can make winged bowls, or maybe a better explanation on it would be bowls with, say, handles on them. Handles turned into the outside rim of the bowl. So, like I say, I'm going to cut this face true, I'm going to cut this diameter true, and then I'm going to offset the fixture to its first position, and then I'm going to cut this diameter, which is going to give me the first side of the wing part of the bowl. So that's the objective. Give me a second, I'll get the rest of my gear on, and we'll get going. Okay, so once again, this wood is really dry. I don't even think it'll register. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll get my moisture meter and we'll test it. Cause, you know, I've seen other people do that. Might as well, right? Give me a second here. Okay, there's the moisture meter. Let's just see what kind of moisture is in it. Okay, that's saying 5%. That's not even reading. See if it'll read here. Okay, that says 5%. It's going to be upside down, but it says 5%. Anyway, you guys get the idea. So the blank is really dry, so it's going to be really dusty. So I will be wearing my dust mask for this, so it may be a little difficult to hear me. So I'll just try to make sure that I speak louder when I do talk. But first things first, first thing we're going to do is we're going to true up this OD, then we're going to true up this face. Yeah, so it's not running bad, but I'm gonna get it as round as I can possibly make it. It'll help along the way, and you guys will see what I mean. The further we get along in the video. Okay, so we've offset it to one hole, and now we've trued up the OD 100%. That creates one side of the wing. So I'll give you a second here. Now we're going to start roughing in the other side of the wing. Okay, so I took a little break there, and to save on some confusion and to help me explain it a little bit better, I added a couple layout lines, and that's just intersection points is all it is. So we shifted the bowl to the first location, and we trued up the OD, which cut 1/2 of the wing. So now I shifted the bowl to the opposite side to the same location, and now we're going to cut the other half of the bowl. And to help give a visual aid for that, I put another layout line on here, and that's going to be, where was I at? Let's see here. So essentially, I'm going to go from, so this is the low point, this is the high point. So I'm going to find the middle of that, which should be roughly in the center of the actual spin, and that's where I put that line. But I did it on this side. So now what I'm going to do, the objective is I'm going to put a layout line on here to go from that intersection, which is the middle of the high and the low, well, kind of missed. Well, either way, you get the idea. So this line right here, now the stock that is from anything on that side of the line, all this is going to get removed. All this. I'm going to cut this all away. And that's going to give me the other side of the shape. And that's going to be the initial portion of roughing in those wings. So let's continue on, and the further I get, the more visually it will help. Okay. Now we're going to go back to the other side, to the second hole. All right, give me a second. Okay, I went ahead and marked the next line off camera. You can see it's kind of going to be a football shape, this darker line. Now we're going to cut it, the OD to that line. You can also tell that I'm not going to be able to get nowhere near the speed out of it because now it's got a pretty good throw to it. So looks like about 600 RPMs is all I'm going to get. Still not perfectly straight. I gotta go just a little bit more. All right, that's pretty close. All right, now we got to do the next side. Yeah, I'm going to sit down and get this one marked. Give me a second. All right. I've got the final line marked on there. Now I could keep going. I have more holes on the back of the fixture and make this shape more exaggerated, but just for length of the video and demonstration of what I have, I'm going to stop at 2 offsets. So let's get this side of the bowl trued up, and then we'll get the inside of the bowl cord out, and then we'll finish the final shape of the back side of the bowl, and then pretty much, well, we'll have to sand it, put some finish on it, but then it'll be done. Well, I had a chip out right there. That sucks. Should have expected that, though. But hopefully you guys can see the shape of that bowl now. So it's kind of a football shape. And let me go ahead and set the fixture back to 0. I'll take a cut across this face and get that cleaned up so those lines aren't there for confusing me or anybody else. And then I guess I'll draw some more lines on it. Okay, we're back to the 0 position. And now I need to determine where I want the bowl to be, the hollowed out portion. So, I don't know, let's see. Let's go from, I'm going to make a mark at the max wing and the minimum wing. So that's probably, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch. So let's go with that same amount. See what that looks like. And now this is how, now obviously I didn't get that face perfectly flat and perfectly level, you know, but this now gives an idea, now that I've drawn that circle on there where the bowl is going to be, we can see how close did I get the sides turned to. Were they even, or did I turn one more than the other? You know, you can measure this distance here and here. And if it wasn't for these chips, those are real close to the same. Let's see, I wonder how close they actually are. So I'm going to say that's 5/8 of an inch over here. And I'm pretty well smack on. It's 5/8 of an inch here. So I did a fairly decent job. I didn't get it very flat, that's for sure. Still real high in the center. Anyway, now the objective is to hollow out the inside of this bowl. Once I get that where I want it, I'll finish out this back side, and then we get it parted off of there and finish it just like any other normal project. Hey everybody, welcome back. For me it's a new day. For you guys it's just just a few seconds. So yesterday when I got towards the end of my recording session, I took the camera off the tripod and I flipped the view, and then I gave you guys a good show of where I was and what was going on. And unfortunately, when I did that, I hit the pause button, and I didn't realize that I did that. I didn't realize it till last night after I was watching my footage over again. So the only thing that you guys missed was me, hollowing out the bowl section of the piece. And you guys have seen me do that many times. And really, the video is not about me coring this out. It's more about me getting this outside profile on here. So, and as you guys can see, well, let me change this. There we go. As you guys can see, this piece has got it's got a football shape to it now, is the best way I can describe it. And the intention that I'm giving here is this is a handle and this is a handle. So I'm calling that a winged bowl, but basically it's going to be like handles, but I'm going to call them wings because that sounds better to me. So today I'm going to finish hollowing this out because it's just roughed in. So I'm going to finish hollowing this out, and then I'm going to finish cutting the shape on the back side of this bowl, and we'll go from there. So that is the intention. See where I'm going with this. You can see pretty good definition on the back side. Now, that's really bad in the bowl, and I'm surprised I didn't make a hole all the way through the bowl yet. So, the good news is this is a practice piece, so hopefully I can turn it into something that I can finish. Anyway, so we're going to get the back of this finished now. Okay, everybody, this is basically what I was going for. Now, it's not finished. Let me see if I can get it in frame there. It's not finished, but you can see the wings on there. Sorry about this light, kind of washing that out. Now, I'm sorry about the shadow. Haha. Okay, so there's the wings and the bowl portion, and this is what the backside is going to look like. Now, I got that catch. You guys saw me get that catch. That was right here. And then when I pulled the tool out, it caught it right there. Now, there ain't going to be nothing I can do about that because it hit it pretty deep and messed it up. But overall, it worked. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. Let's see if I get a little better view of what the back side of this is going to look like. So there you go. That's what I'm talking about. There's a wing here. Here's the other wing here. Now that's that real bad spongy punky part about that. There ain't nothing I can do about that. Once again, that's the reason why I used this piece of wood, in case I totally destroyed this piece. It wasn't a big loss. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sand it up and get it finished. So I will bring you back after I got it all sanded up and I'm ready to put a coat of finish on it. All right, let's get a coat of finish on this. This is actually the second coat of finish. I lost my mind and managed to not record the first coat. Okay, everybody, today's a new day, and it looks like that coat of finish that you guys saw me put on here, it covered very well, and it looks good. So we're gonna cut the foot off and get the bottom of the bowl signed so it can move on to its new home. So let's get this on here and see what we see. We'll do it just like I always do. I'll try to get it as close as I can to that little center point. Let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna be honest, that looks really good right there. So I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure on it. And we'll get that foot cut so I can get this out the door. Now, I think earlier in the video, I mentioned that this is my prototype of this design of a bowl, and it's already been claimed by one of my loyal customers. So I told her she could have the honor of having the very first one, the very first practice piece that I actually finished on here. This is actually the second one of these that I've done, but the first one I never finished. This is the very first one that I had going. This is what I was doing when I got sick. I had to take like a month or 2 months off of uploading. I got a real bad respiratory infection, and I don't think that my sinuses agree with this type of wood, and I believe that this type of wood is Osage orange. But as you can see, it's the same shape, and it's actually basically the same size, and that was by mistake, not by design. But anyway, that was as far as I got with the first time, and I finally built up the nerve to go ahead and finish this. Now, I made the modification that I needed to make to this faceplate, so the second bowl that goes from start to finish will actually should be exactly what I want, should be exactly what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, this one, I had to get it to the completed stage before I knew exactly what was going to happen with the wings. And although it looks good, I say it looks good, it's not perfect. The modification that I made to the faceplate, it should make it perfect in my book. So let's go ahead and get this foot done, get it signed, get it gone. Can you guys see? It's a little bit of a glare from that light. Let's see, where can I put that light where it won't be so bad? Oh. Ooh, that's even worse. Let's see here. There we go, that's not too bad. That gives me a little bit of light so I can see. All right, let's do this. Yep, now I just got to grind this, excuse me, I just got to grind this little nub off and get her sanded down. Give me a second. All right, it's all said and done. Bottom foot's finished up. It's all signed. And it's ready to go. So, here we go. This is what we have. So let me get a scale out real quick, and that way I can tell you the dimensions of it. So long ways, it's 7 3/4. Short ways, it's 6 1/2, and it's 2 1/4 inches tall. So this was, like I said earlier, this was a practice piece. I'm glad that I was able to actually finish it and get a finished bowl out of it. That is the foot. There we go. There's the foot. It's all signed, ready to go. That's that punky area. I did fill that hole with some sawdust and CA glue, and I filled another area right here, sawdust and CA glue. So, you know, just so I could get a finished product out of it. I'm not super happy about the way that looks, but it's a finished bowl, and like I said, this is a prototype. Now that I know what I'm doing. Oh, and that spot where I got that catch right there on the wing. Let's see, no glare right there. I actually filled that with coffee, and that fill came out real nice. I think it did. Just looks like a tiny little enhancement, I think. But anyway, that's what we got. Thanks for watching.